joining us for the first time, my name is Abisola Oshoteku. I welcome you to Every Little Thing That Makes a Difference. As you all know, we discuss issues of life, things that can make our life better. We are not here to gossip. We are not here to discuss what is, in vogue or what is going on, but to actually discuss things that will make our life better, our relationship, our lifestyle, the way we live generally. So we are here to learn, and also we can learn from you. That's why we love your comments. We want you to comment. We don't want it to be just one-way traffic. We will love to hear from you. And this week is no exception. There is a lot of, comment coming in, which actually gladdens my heart. That means we're doing something. I love when people come with questions. I love when people are curious and, so that is me. I'm Abisola Oshoteku. So I have my wonderful sister here. I know. She doesn't like to actually say everything about her. And God has made her in such a way that she cannot hide. Isn't that awesome? God has been so good in her life that it's so easy to just cover something that is not shiny. But when it's shiny, when it's light, it just have to come out. So we just give God all the glory. So sis, please do introduce yourself, not just as Nikky, but we want to know what you're doing. So people who are joining us, this is the third time she will tell us, and she felt like, oh God, yes, you have to tell us, because that is when people will know your background. It's so important they know your background so that we all can value what we are getting. Yes, guys. Please go ahead, sis.
Okay, thank you so much, Sister Abi. My name is Nikky Bolariwa. My name that you see on Facebook is Nikky Amori. That was my name before I got married. So that's why you see Nikky Amori. And people call me Nikky for fun. Yeah, that's my pet name. So my name is Nikky Bolariwa. And my background is in social work. I've been practicing in the field of social work for over 15 years. In relation to the topic we're going to be doing today, I'm just going to speak to my experience. I have been working in the area of domestic violence. Actually, I started working in the area of domestic violence in 2012, yes, when we moved to Canada, and in child protection. And since then, I've gone through series of training and series of exposure through work. I've been privileged to represent the department in court and meeting with Crown Prosecutor, probation, all the community partners in relation to domestic violence, probation officers, victim support, and all the rest. And then I've been privileged also to teach the subject domestic violence to social work student in the University of Lethbridge. So they do invite me as a guest teacher prior to COVID. And now, currently, I have moved on to clinical social work. I am a mental health therapist now. So everything is just making more sense as I grow in my profession. So the experience that I'm bringing to you today is true work, is true personal experience, and it's something that I'm so passionate about because I want us to be better. I want to see people doing better than ever before, because many people are ignorant. I'm going to tell you, I didn't know anything like domestic violence until that 2012 when I started working. And it didn't make sense to me, but as I grew in it, I began to see what it is, the dangers involved in it, and there is hope also. So that's what I will be dealing with next week. I'm going to be talking about hope, because I don't want to just give us doom message, but I want to give us hope, ways forward. So yeah, today, hopefully, depending on what my friend is asking, I hope to cover more into the area of who are the victims. That's I want to answer those questions, and then yeah. Okay, So
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yes, so today, basically what will be, I just love what you just said now. Who are the victim? You know, we've looked at the abuser themselves. Somehow we've touched it. It's not even somehow, you actually went into it last week. About the abuser. And also, so today we are looking into the victim and how it affects them. You know, during the course of the week, people are saying a lot of things, you know, and people were saying, oh, you know, if you think your relationship is not working, you continue trying, you continue doing this. Why would people want to kill themselves because of one person? And, you know, there is a lot of things going on. So people thought, if something is not working for you, why do you want to die in there? Why don't you just take your bag and walk away? And if it's a man, why don't you just walk away? So my first question to you, sis, is why do victims stay in abusive relationship?
so yeah, most victims, sorry, I'm trying to, my laptop died, so I'm trying to
Okay.
turn it on. Yeah. So why do victims stay? Why don't they leave? And people think they are so stupid. Why are
Mm.
they staying? I'll tell you, there's
Yes.
so many reasons. And we social workers, we have been trained to respond from a trauma
Mm.
perspective.
Mm.
Okay, we look at it from the part of looking at this thing as a trauma. So one of the reasons, I'll just quickly go through the list. Some don't go leave because of love.
Mm.
There is a YouTube video on crazy love. I see that as crazy love. There is
Mm.
hope. People have hope. Oh, it's going to change. She's going to change.
Mm.
Let me put that disclaimer there again, because some people reach out to me after the last session, and most of the
Yeah.
people that reach out to me, they were
Yeah,
men.
thank you for the disclaimer.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were men. They were saying we are being abused. So I'm not saying only women are being abused. So it's all gender, it affects all gender. But the research shows that women are predominantly the victims that
Mm.
are affected. However, maybe men are not reporting, maybe men are not speaking up. So it's good
Mm.
that we are on here. I am not siding any gender. I am
Mm.
just against abuse. Whoever is doing the abuse, whether woman,
Mm.
whether man, it's not acceptable. So let me
That's
go
right.
back to the question. So they don't leave because they believe that the abuser is going to change.
Mm.
They don't leave because of the children. Oh, so the children will not have a father, or that's not good. They need their dad, or they need their mom, or sometimes lack of finance because they don't
Mm.
have money. Sometimes fear of judgment
Mm.
from people around the societies. There's that stigma, especially in Africa. In the western part of the world,
Mm.
not so much. People may not be bothered if you leave, but in Africa, it's still
It's a big
like
deal.
a taboo that, oh, you
Yeah.
left your husband, or you left. I think it would be worse for men in Africa,
Yes.
that you are so weak, you left your wife.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
so the stigma is there. Also, there is that low self-esteem, guilt, self-blame, also sometimes denial. People
Mm.
deny what is going on. Oh, yeah. Well, they are in their country or in their clan. That they
Wow.
are very angry. For
Mm.
example, I was somewhere yesterday. Somebody was talking about the Ondo people, that they are very angry people. So they kind of normalized it. So denial, ignorance. People don't
Mm.
know. Like I was saying before, people don't know. Family pressure. Some family
Mm.
will say, "Oh, just endure it." Endure it. The mom may be saying, "I endure with your father, so you to
Mm.
endure."
Mm.
So another big one that I've seen a lot is religion.
Mm.
Their religion, um, because I'm a person of faith, I can only speak to my own religion. But I know that Muslims too, they have some beliefs too that keeps them in. So for Christians, what they will say is God hates divorce. So so because of that they stay. Also, no place to go. They don't know where to go. They are just confused. No car, no transportation. Carer also, people stay because they are in a caretaker role. They are taking care. So, oh, what would happen to her if I left? What would happen to him if I left the house? What is going to happen? So they're in that caretaker role. They cannot take care of themselves again. They are just thinking about another person. And there is that big thing that I'm going to make it very easy. And that's, if you can research it yourself later, if you are a victim, there's something called trauma bond.
Trauma bond.
Yes.
Wow.
So there's that trauma bond, and that keeps that person staying there.
Trauma bond.
Yeah.
Is it possible to expatiate on that? Trauma bond.
Yeah. So because they've been in that relationship so much, they begin to ignore it's mostly some of the things I have said. They begin to ignore the signals. They see red flags, but they ignore it. They'll say, oh, he's changing. They'll say, oh, well, I can't leave him. He can't take care of himself, or she can't take care of herself. Or what will people say? Or, but so there's so many excuses, but they are all like examples of, I brought it down in layman's term by giving those ones that I've given, but you can look into it so much. Excuses, so many excuses. Oh, he loves me, so those are all sorts of things. I'm going to touch, when I start talking about victims more, there is something called like love bomb. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's so good to put it out there, because even myself, I always think, why can't you just leave? And it's so good the way you talk, just break it down to us. Now, guys, you see why people stay, and God hates divorce. And some people, for that reason, they will stay in there.
Sorry, I forgot something. One other thing that happens to people in the Western world that keeps them in is if they are depending on the abuser for their residency document.
Hey, yes.
Yes. So if it's the woman that brought the man into the Western world, and you have to behave yourself, otherwise I'm not going to file for you again. So they endure because of that. So that's another point that I have seen.
That is actually common, especially in this UK.
Yeah.
A lot of people are in bondage because of paper.
Yes.
Residency. Yes, sis. You've mentioned so many things, and I will ask you this. There's one I want to ask you, but I will just keep this in before we move to that one. Why do people attach suffering to success story in a marriage? People always say, she has done well. They will praise her. They will, And when you want to hear this victory they claim to be a victory, it's attached to what we are actually identifying as an abuse now.
Yeah, thank you. The reason why people attach suffering to success is the way we have been brainwashed, to associate pain with love. The society are not condemning it. Rather, what the society is praising are the people who stay. And that is because of ignorance. People who stay, but you don't know the damage that has been done to that person or the children in that home. You don't know other generational trauma that is you are perpetrating. So people don't know. I think the major thing is ignorance, societal pressure, people making you feel that living is evil, people making you think that living is bad for you. So, and that is why what we are doing is very important, that we are educating people. And you know what? I want to put that caveat there. Our goal is not to break home. Even as a social worker, our legislation, what we are looking for is we try our best to keep homes together. However, in some cases, we allow a bit of separation. Yes. Okay, there's a time for separation. The Bible talks about there's a time to love, there's a time to hate, there's a time to hug, to embrace, and the time to withdraw from embrace. So, but people don't understand that. We just pick one verse in the scripture and we keep hold to it. Sometimes there is a need for that separation so that each individual, each party of that relationship can go and learn skills before they come back again. So the fact that there is domestic violence does not mean that they cannot come back again. They can, even with the court system that I've worked with. So so usually after the incident has happened, we become involved because of the kids. We will work with the non-abusive spouse. So if it's the husband, is the wife, whoever is not the abusive one is the one we work with. The one that is abusive, we go and get some work, intervention, and which I can talk more about that next week. And then when everything is done, they can come back together. And then the victim too, we try to educate them before they come back. So by the time they come back together, there's something better. Sometimes difficulty happen, challenges happen. It's the way we respond to it that matters. If you ignore it, I tell you, my friend, it's waiting for you. It's going to catch up with you later. But when you address it, you learn new skills to manage the situation, and things will be better for the abuser, because the abuser
and for the victim. And for the victim, yes.
The victim, yes, and the children. So So the main
I'm going to rush because I really want you to dive into, the victim. So another one is, people, this is the cost of week as well, that you said to us that if we notice, I actually threw a question to you. I said, if you notice a friend, a family, that there is an abuse, you are not too sure, but you sense that there is an abuse going on in that marriage, that is it okay for us? Can I use the word third party to say, something is not right here, and we could report to the authority or services? People were saying, what if? Even within me, I was thinking, because in childcare, we are being taught something like that. What if the person get angry? Your neighbor, your sister that you think you are trying to rescue them, what if they get angry of you doing the intervention, I would say?
Yes. So it's normal. That I just want to normalize it for you. It is normal. Most victims will not be happy. Okay? And the reason
I'm sorry. Mr. Ifede, sir, we salute you, sir. I'm here. We only see madam. We cite you, sir. We appreciate your comments, sir. So good to see you virtually.
Yeah, thank you. So most victims would not want to report because of what I had explained before. And let me tell you, the brain of the victim is messed up. There is that trauma. Trauma reorganized the brain. I don't want to go too scientific and, and be using buzzwords, but there is something about when you are in trauma, you are living with something that is not right. Every day you are bombarded with it. It becomes normal to you. Okay? And they become disempowered to deal with it.
Hi.
Okay? So you, from the outside, you can see the danger. They cannot see it. So if you really love your friend, sometimes love can be cruel. Okay? I'll give you an example, and maybe this will drive the message home better. You and your friend, you went for like a vacation, you went hiking or wherever in the woods, in the forest, far away from any town, no phone, no network, no medical service. And while you were walking away there, bam, snake beat your friend on the toe, and there is no medical services. And you know it's a poisonous snake. What would you do? Because medical services is far away. The best thing is what?
I will do everything to rescue her.
Okay. So maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody has said you may need to cut that toe.
That leg. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yes. Does your friend like it? No. Do you like it? No. But you want to keep your friend alive.
I love that.
You want to keep your friend alive. Your friend may not appreciate you reporting. But you know that you are doing them good to keep them alive. You know you are doing them good by keeping the children alive. You know that you are exposing them so that they can get the right intervention. Okay? So if you are looking for praises, you will not be able to do it. If you are looking for approval, you will not be able to do it. But if you are genuine, you have a good intention, you will be able to report. Most times, so I want to clarify. So most times when you report, it's, let me calm people down. Social work, we are not about to take people's kid. We don't take delight in taking children. And even,
I believe so.
Yes, the foster homes are full. So all we want to do is work with you and your family to change what is going on and make things better.
Right. That's right.
As a social worker, what we first of all do is look for, okay, even if it's the two parents that are having issues, that maybe they are even having addictions, we don't just go and drop the kids in foster home. We look for family members.
Families, I know.
Yeah, we look for church members. We look for community members that can take the kids while the parents go take care of themselves. So whatever fear you have, I want you to know that you are doing the right thing. But sometimes when we do the right thing, the person we are doing the right for may not understand. They may not appreciate it. So you keep on doing the good, but you know in your heart, you are saving a life. You are saving the children. You are saving someone. Sometimes people will now regret when they hear that somebody died as a result of domestic violence. They will be saying, oh, I wish I had done something. So this is to let you know that you can do something, especially if it is physical abuse. It can go out of hand in a minute.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, sis. Sister Chi, I cite you there. Lady T, we cite you, my people. I cite you. Please say hello so that I will acknowledge you there. Thank you so much. We're actually doing part 3. Many of you here, we started together. We're doing the part 3. I'm so glad, sis, that you mentioned all those things, because that was the first question I asked. Of course, this program is not about the lady of Ochinachi. We have been planning to do this over a year, but it's just coincidence. This is not about her. I remember too well when the ugly incident happened, when she passed on. Everybody is saying she will be begging us not to tell. She will be saying to us, don't tell anybody, that she's telling them not to report, not to face the husband, not to tell her, not to tell her family, not to tell anybody. Even some of her family that she confide in, she's telling everybody to be quiet. I wish, from what you are teaching us today, I wish somebody take that bold step and intervene for her. And report to whatever support that she could get when she was alive. So it's so key, people. In childcare, they will say, think about the safe aspect of it. The life you want to save. And I love the way you say social worker are not that they don't deprive pleasure in taking people's children. I have seen inspector coming to my services, and I always tell myself, they are not here to close my daycare down. They are here to do their job. And I have to do my own job as well. And I always tell to people, even people who work, in the years past with me, I will tell them, the inspector are not here to close us down. They are here to do their job. And when we see it that way, I think, we don't want to hear social worker. And because you are my friend, I think I have more knowledge. It makes me feel calm down. This is Nikky now. Social workers, they are not there to destroy our lives. No. So thank you so much, sis. That is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I will tip in this last question, then you can now take us to the questions are going on. Yeah, Daddy is here. Oh, do you know who is here? Daddy Kuyadi is here.
Wow, yes, sir.
And Mommy is here as well.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, sir. So good to see you. All the way from Dublin. Oh, my goodness. People are here all over the world. We can see you from Dubai, from Ivory Coast, from everywhere. Thank you so much. So good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, Daddy. Yes. I will ask this last question, sis, then you can take us through, maybe after you, or whichever way you're going to do it. Can we classify being overprotective as an abuse? And I will tell you why I asked that question. With me, I always like to watch all these people that we think they are not religious. I always like to watch them just to gain, get some information as well. The wife was saying, we all know Jada, she commit adultery and all that. That is not an excuse. And both of them came together on the table and they were discussing that even we all are just listening to all this rumor now. They've been in this crisis for years. That our husband is overprotective. Our husband, we practically dictate everything they're going to do. And she mentioned a couple of movies that the husband did, how it took, he's giving them the best. He's not doing it. He cares for them. He loves them. He do everything. But he just felt like we cannot afford to fail. So he's over. He doesn't want them to make mistake. He doesn't want the children to make mistake. He doesn't want the wife to make mistake. He's always overprotective. But the family felt they are in bondage. So being overprotective, can it be classified as an abuse?
Yes, we talked about emotional abuse earlier on in, I think, maybe the first part. I can't remember which part we talked about that. So yeah, it can be. And, when people are overprotective, there is something deep down that needs to be addressed in therapy. And mostly what is happening is there is a fear. It's really mostly from insecurity that something is going to go wrong. Okay? That's if it's just like we parents too, when we can overprotect our kids, we are afraid that something is going to go wrong. So it can become emotional abuse. Okay? When we are overprotective. I want to say, one of the ways I like to look at things, look at God. He is not controlling. He gives us free will. So why will somebody take the free will of their spouse away because they are married? Marriage is not a prison.
Yes.
Where there is love, perfect love casts out fear.
That's right.
Where there is love, fear can be discussed together.
That's right.
Okay, yes, we have our insecurity, we have our fears, maybe because of our experiences, but that is where there is need for communication in marriage. There is need for dialogue, whereby you talk about, oh, I'm worried about you, the way you dress today. Oh, somebody's going to whatever. I don't, instead of you saying, don't wear that clothes, you know, and then you
Exactly.
can have conversations about it. So yes, overprotective, controlling. Don't forget, the mindset of an abuser is power, control. Power and control.
And
So,
control.
yes, some people are abusive unconsciously. So, and that is why this is important. And so that your marriage, our marriages can be better. That's why we are saying this thing, that check it. If you are over controlling, your husband cannot tell you what he wishes, or your wife cannot tell you she want to go see a friend. No, you've cut them off their friendship. You've kidnapped them. They don't no longer have a friend. They cannot talk to their family member. That is abuse, the emotional abuse. So yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. We learn every day.
Yes.
Because sometimes, the guy, I could remember him crying after the wife said that. And the way you explain it to us now actually make more sense to me. Because to him, he said he's afraid, and you mentioned that he's afraid of being to fail. He doesn't want to be a failure. He thought he was doing it for their interest.
Yeah.
And mommy said, yeah, perfect love casts away fear.
Yes.
Marriage is not a prison yard. Awesome. Coerce and control, controlling behavior. Coercive, sorry, and controlling behavior. Sorry. I'm trying to see if I have, please, more question in. If you have question, contribution. Oh, I see something now. I'm scared to say, oh, sorry, if you're scared to say your mind, if you're scared to say your mind in a relationship, something is wrong. If you're scared to say your mind in a relationship, something is wrong. I believe, and 100% that is true. So, sis, take us through the journey of the victim.
Thank you. Yes. So now I'm going to talk about the victims. Oftentimes, people just think it's the spouse alone that is the victim. But I'm going to start off with the children. It saddens my heart, when people don't know the intensity of what we are dealing with. Children, it's just because this is Facebook. Usually when I'm teaching this subject, I use videos. I have some videos that I love.
More reason they should join us on WhatsApp. We are starting this. Is it at the end of the month or next month? We will give you more information, on Zoom. We're going to be doing this on Zoom. Then you can watch the video. We're going to go deeper than this.
Yes.
So carry on, please.
Yeah. So, with children are like sponge when they are born. They don't know anything. And whatever, when you dip a sponge in water, it absorbs whatever is there. Whether it is oil, water, soap, it's going to absorb it. So when children are born, they came with a clear slate, and the environment begin to determine what they're going on to be. We have seen through research, this is research and things I have seen through work, that children who are exposed to domestic violence, some of them begin to blame themselves for the assault. They also sometimes engage in abuse. They
Whoa.
also threaten violence against others. They
Hmm.
learn that the best way to deal with conflict is through fighting. So now
Hmm.
I'm focusing more on physical abuse. They learn that. You see, oftentimes people who are couples who are fighting, they say, "Oh, the children do not see us. They are not.
Hmm.
They don't know." I'm going to read something. Seeing a mother, how children are exposed to domestic violence. Seeing a mother assaulted or demeaned,
Hmm.
hearing loud conflict and violence, seeing the aftermath, injuries.
Wow.
So they may not
Wow.
be home, they may be in school, and they see their mom's eyes with injuries. They are affected.
Hmm.
Learning about what happened to a mother, being used by an abusive parent as part of their abuse. Seeing a mother abuse his new partner when they visit her on weekend. I'm just giving an example. So
Hmm.
sometimes we don't know that children are affected. When they
Hmm.
see these things, they begin to have some fears. You know, children learn through play.
Hmm.
And also their brain is just developing. It is
Hmm.
most dangerous. Let me tell you the most dangerous time for domestic violence to happen. There's no good time. There is no good
Hmm.
time. But the most dangerous is 0 to 6. That is
0 to
when the
6
brain of that child,
are developing.
yes, and the personality is being formed.
Hmm.
So when they often say, "Oh, the baby is there," I didn't know. No, we are even more scared for that baby.
Yay.
Yes, because they can see, they know, they can feel the tension in the home,
Hmm.
and they absorb it. And what does that do? I'm just going to leave my screen now and just stop. What that does is that when the children, the part of their brain that they should use in exploring the world to
Hmm.
learn, to grow and develop, when
Hmm.
they cannot use that part of the brain at that time because they're hyper vigilant.
Hmm.
Hyper vigilant because they don't know what's going to happen next. So they're like, let me give you an example. Have you ever been attacked before? If you have never been attacked, you won't understand what I'm saying. If someone has been attacked before, anytime you are getting near to that scene, you are like,
Oh, like that kind of attack.
yes.
Whoa. Hmm.
So
Ah, yeah, I
children
don't
too,
know.
yes, because they love their parent, they are hyper vigilant. They are full.
Hmm.
I wonder what's going to happen next. And then, so the way abuse affects children, they are different. So children are very unique in their own
Hmm.
way. So some kids, depending on the age, depending on the gender, if impact of domestic
Hmm.
violence may be different. But
Hmm.
some of the common things we see is anxiety.
Hmm.
We notice that they begin to have somatic symptoms. What do we mean by that? Physical symptoms of fear. So they may
Hmm.
just be saying the child is always sick. You don't know what is causing it. It is fear.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
there is something called trauma. It can be stored in the body. They are
Hmm.
exposed to toxic stress, the kids.
Hmm.
So they are absorbing it. And then they are anxious. Some of these kids, they go to school, they are going there to fight. You
Hmm.
see some bad behavior
Hmm.
because they don't know how to express it, but it has to come out in one way or the other.
Hmm.
So those are the
Hmm.
kids that go out and bully other kids.
Hmm.
Okay? And then mostly girls now, mostly girls, but
Hmm.
don't quote me that it's only girls, but mostly girls can be very quiet.
Hmm.
And those are the ones we are worried about for depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
Because they
People are even
internal,
saying it. They
yeah,
will lose confidence. They will withdraw from things. And other things are going. Don't worry, people. I'm still going to go through the comment. So
yeah,
sorry, sis. Yeah.
they will internalize it. Sometimes they blame themselves. Oh, maybe if I was much, maybe if I've washed the dishes, daddy will not lose his patience on mom. Or maybe if I didn't ask for money, mommy wouldn't have yelled at dad. So they, they internalize it. And then, it's those, we've seen people want to commit suicide as a result of that. Yes, you see children saying they will never marry because of that. You see children saying that they don't want to be that gender because of that. The gender of the abusive person, because home is where we learn. So they believe that this is the way women behave, the abusive woman, or they believe that this is the way a man behaves. So it's until they start exploring the world, they begin to see that something is wrong. But it is in the home that character is formed. So it is children are the primary victim, and that is why child protection becomes involved, to save the children, to save them, and to provide some changes so that they can be better. I will not be able to go through my notes, it's too much, but next week I'm going to tell you about some good news. I'm not going to go there now. Some good news that there is the ability to recover. Now let me go to the adult victim. So like we have said, it could be a woman, it could be a man. So the impact on them, they don't know. They don't know. It is a slowly released poison.
You may see, victim don't know. I want to clarify that part, that the victim don't know.
Yes. So because let me give you an example. At work, if you are having stress at work, what do you want to do?
Just want to rest.
You want to rest? Do you think of changing that job?
No.
Okay. When you are stressed at work, and there's so much stress at your workplace, you don't want to go to that work. You want
at some point you want to check out, look for alternative.
Yes. And then you come home.
Somebody say go off sick.
Sorry, go out ahead.
Go off sick.
Yes, but at home, can you go off sick? Can you go off sick? So there is this book, The Body Keep the Score. And research is beginning to show how toxic stress creates some chronic disease within the body. Which research is going in deep there now. That's where research is going. If you are interested in research, go and look up ACE. ACE. It will tell you more about this. So that is one side of it. That you are living in toxic stress, it's going to be affecting your body. It's going to be affecting your brain. You are hyper focused, you are anxious all of the time. There's some depression going on for you, you may not know, but above all, physical injuries. And most time victims, when they even turn up in hospital, they lie. They say something else. Oh, something else happened. They won't say it is their partner that has abused them. So those are some of the things that happens to the victim. Let me quickly share this thing. For victims, the reason why you have to report is so much because, like I said, their brain is messed up. There is something we call the cycle of violence. And I'm going to quickly touch on that now. It is a cycle. So there is the honeymoon phase. That is when the abuser apologizes. Okay? He apologizes and then he brings flowers home. That is, do all sorts of love thing. And then they are going to be nice for a couple of days or weeks or years. Then you begin to see escalation. Gradually, they start going back to their old behavior. But the victim is carried away because of that flower,
the honeymoon process.
buying new clothes, all sort of, oh boy, she's nice, this and that. And then before you know it, it's that honeymoon period is facing now. They're getting into that escalation period, and then the behavior, they're walking on eggshells. When you are beginning to walk on eggshell, that is the time you should know that another incident is about to happen.
Woo.
Okay? And when you are not comfortable, I quoted the scripture that says, perfect love casts out fear. When you are beginning to feel afraid, something is wrong. When you are extra careful that if I do this, it's going to hurt her, she's going to be mad, she's going to do this, something is not right. Help is needed. And that is where, even before you start calling services, you can call families, you can call friends to start helping before it escalates, before the incident comes in. Yeah. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. I'll just go through, I think, comments or question. There is a question that I'm actually looking for. He said, what's, let me see, please. Let me see from other, so that I can read it. Okay. What should you do when you see danger coming from an extended family members and your spouse is not seeing it, and and every attempt to prevent such, your spouse see it as abuse? Do you get the question?
So if I get
Shall I take it again? Shall I take it?
Let me explain what I got out of it. So the question is,
Okay.
you see signals, red flag from a third party.
Of danger.
Yeah, danger from like
an extended family.
Extended family. And then you are telling your spouse, and your spouse is seeing it as more like an abuse. Okay. So in that case, if that is the situation, you know, sometimes what I have found is that we all, including me, we can be biased when it becomes our family.
Yeah.
Okay, we become very biased, very protective. So when situations are like that, and you know there is danger, and your spouse is not listening to you, that is the time to call somebody else. And this is not gossiping now. This is where that person comes to your house and then say, this is what is happening. Uncle, this is, I have a good example. So this person, there's this woman that knows the family well, elderly woman, but whenever she comes, it is trouble in the family. And she want to come. She had lived with them before, and it was real trouble. So the husband want to bring the woman again. The husband doesn't have any affair. It's just an elderly person. So the wife said, if you bring, don't bring her. No, we have to. So the wife didn't do anything. All she just did is, okay. And then just went, as they were going out, they went visiting another elderly couple. There and then, she just said, please help me talk to my husband.
Whoa.
And then they said, wow, that these are the things that had happened in the past with this woman coming to our house. And I don't want it happening again. And that was how the problem was solved. So what am I saying is that you need to talk. Abusers don't want victims to talk.
Yes.
You got to find your voice back. So that's what I would say.
Wow.
Don't keep quiet.
Don't keep quiet, guys. And, you know, please do share this video. You might save life. You might save life. And video like this, you know, when you hear celebrity talking and all that, or people who are so popular, or pastors, you know, People who are so popular, sometimes you might think, okay, they are doing it for a reason, so they have to say some words because they don't want to lose their followers or whatsoever. Here we are, two of us, not that we're looking for a fame or, don't want to lose a follower. We're telling you what, especially what my sister is telling you. This is the area she worked for over 15 years. And she has experienced, as you can tell from her introduction, different family issues and all that. Please do share this video. You might save a life. You might, especially for the victim, for the abuser. We talked about the abuser last week as well. Sometimes they don't even know they are abusing, and sometimes they do know. They don't know how to come out of it. They are stuck in it. So that's why we need to send them. I was sharing with you, sis. Somebody followed me on Instagram. It's a verified page. I was shocked. I was shocked that the person actually followed me. Like, what? I sent it to my husband. I said, what? This person is following. If it's not verified, honestly, I would thought is a, So sometimes some people come across your video. You don't know them. A lot of people are here. You don't even know them. People who requested for this video a year ago, I do not know them. I do not know them in person. And they are men. I do not know them in person. Please don't be selfish. It could be on your status. I know some people don't like all sorts of things. It could be on your status. Sis, I just want to say thank you, because next week, if we start now, we're not going to complete the part you wanted to start with us. And the time here is actually 8:35. I always want us to stay within the 1 hour. I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you. Your 3 weeks have been so informative, so impacting. We are blessed, and people are blessed as well. I've had people talking to me about it, and even some people, there was a time somebody was actually talking to me, and she was saying, oh, this is exactly what you said on the program, and I'm doing it already. The person was giving excuses, and she was correcting herself. She said, oh, I'm sorry, I can see that I'm giving excuse again. So what we are doing is not a joke. People are going through stuff. Share it, share it, share it. Even if you don't want to, somehow you can just, if you don't want to do it, maybe put it on your starter, or you can do it individually. You can help somebody. You can save a life or educate people as well. So once again, sis, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being a blessing. Thank you. So many people have joined us. It is always refreshing to join you on this program. Thank you, sir.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Hey, Mr. Yefeso, I cite you. I cite a couple of people. I can't remember their name again. Sorry. I see you. Thank you so much. Join us again next week at 7:30. Let us do this together. And please do come with questions. Please do. If you don't want to put it here, slide it into my messenger and put it there. And if you know, I'm going to put the email. Thank you. Is it Evelyn? Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you will be coming regularly. I don't think I've seen the name before. And if I have, please forgive me. We have people all over that have joined us. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So, guys, have a wonderful evening. And you, the Canadians, enjoy your day. It's still very young. It's still very early there. Yeah. Enjoy your day. We really appreciate you. Oh,